What's going on? I'm top 30 in Challenger. Not that many Ahri players up here, but I'm one of them. I'm going to go over easy things to do with Ahri and the more advanced stuff to do with Ahri, and we're going to make it quick. Just know we are on the release patch of this game, the October 7th early access patch. You guys are in the future. Hopefully this still helps. It might not, though. Assists will be robbed during this guide, but we're mostly focusing on just Ahri, so this can help you if you're using sidekick and stuff as well. One of the best things about Ahri is how much air control she has. So not on top of just having an air dash forward and backwards, which no other character has yet, she can also dash, throw a fireball, and she gets her dash reset. And that's just a little bit. So she can double air dash in the air, but then she can also use her S2 in the air to dash even more in the air. So you can go from one side of the screen over here all the way to the other side of the screen just from using a couple attacks in the air. This is obviously great for mobility, but the cool part about this is that you can go above people and kind of just stagger yourself in the air before you attack, which can open a lot of people up because they're looking for anti-airs. She has some of the best light attacks in the game. Her jump light punch goes really far, so trying to air people with this is great. Besides that, just her run up stand jab, she's one of the best stand jabs of all the fast characters in the game. The hitbox and hurt box is very good. It doesn't go crazy far, but goes farther than most people's light jab. So her, with her speed on top of that, being able to rush at people and just, you know, stuff them with this, or her 2L, it's very, very good. Because of Ahri's speed, she can punish retreating guard with throw decently, but I don't recommend that. Retreating guard gets punished by lows, so one of her strengths is that she has two really good lows. She has 2M and then 3H in neutral. So this does that when someone's blocking, you can hit them twice and then hit a low, and then you'll catch the retreating guard if you see they're spamming it a lot. And then if you want to go even further than that, you can use 3H. So if you hit them like this, you can catch the retreating guard with 3H. So a lot of characters only have like one option to really try to get retreating guard. She has two. Ahri's corner carry is just ridiculous in this game. She can kind of just go from one side of the stage to the other whenever she wants, just by using one super. So anytime you want to go to the other side of the stage, you can just use one super and you're there on the other side. It's pretty great. And then on top of that, her combos just naturally kind of go from side to side as well. So if you're doing a harder combo, you don't go quite as far as that super, but you still go pretty dang far from just doing almost any touch. Her weaknesses, her throw. She's the only character in the game that cannot combo out a throw. Even in the corner, if you do any throw, you can't even hit them with a jab while they're on the ground. She has enough time for that. Same thing with back throw, but no one can really combo off their back throw. One thing about that, though, is that if you call an assist and then throw, you can switch over to your other character during it, and then you can get a combo with a different character, and you can combo out with any character off of a throw that way. The absolute worst thing about Ahri is her combos drop from range all the time. So if you hit a combo just a little too far like this, you can't combo them. And bigger characters don't get hit by this even more. So a lot of your bread and butter starters, you can't even really, you have to do a lesser damage version depending on range all the time. And the last thing's weird, but she's the only speed character that doesn't have an instant side switch. If she hits them, she can go through them, but she cannot go through them if they're blocking like every other speed character can do. Okay, these are Ahri's best buttons. So if you're new to the game, these are the buttons that you should be utilizing. We're starting from best of the best to the other best, but her best absolute button is jump 2H. This button is great because it hits in front of her and it hits behind her. Vi's jump H does that as well, but Ahri can combo into it to her another attacks. So jump H is really good in combos too, because you can do launcher into jump 2H into 5H, or 5H into jump 2H. So it's a very good button for catching people. It goes really low below, it goes really far below her, so you're going to be using it all the time. We talked about it a little bit already, but her 5L is one of the best 5Ls in the game. Its hitbox goes crazy far compared to most people's 5Ls, and if you look at the hurt box there, the hurt box is non-existent. It's just all hitbox. So approaching people with 5L, very, very strong. Now these buttons are a little less talked about, but her 5H just in neutral, the hitbox on it is really good. It goes really far. And it's one of the farthest reaching 5Hs by the smaller characters. If you're ever in an awkward situation in the corner and you're both respecting each other, just throwing this out into fireballs can usually work out, and there's not very much risk to even do that with, right? The only problem with 5H is that people can obviously jump. People jump a lot in this game. But the next button covers that. This is honestly one of her best buttons. Jump Fireball, Jump S1 is so good. One of the reasons why it's so good is because the fireball almost goes full screen, which your normal fireball doesn't. Her normal fireball only goes half screen. This one goes almost full screen. It's pretty much instant, and the recovery on it is crazy. Like I showed you with the jump 2H, she's only in the air for 26 frames before she can move. So she's attacking and can move instantly after shooting it. which is crazy. So you can just use this to kind of manipulate where people think you're going. And as I showed you earlier, you can dash after another air fireball. So you can dash in. If you know you're fucked up, you can dash in, throw the air fireball, then get out, so you don't get anti-aired. So it's very useful for multiple reasons. But her grounded S1 is also very good. It does have a lot of recovery frames, similar to 5H, so it can be a little scary to throw out compared to Jump H, which recovers so fast. If you do get this hit on block, you can either shoot another fireball down to try to catch someone, or you can use one of these, one of her S2s to kind of just get away. So you can just kind of say, okay, I don't want to deal with that. I'm going to go dash down to the ground so I don't get punished. You can dash away, then dash down too. So it's fairly safe to do. Again, we talked about a little bit. Her 2M, this hitbox is way better than her 5M. Her 5M's hurtbox extends pretty far, and the whole button doesn't go as far. It's one extra frame from 5M, but it goes farther. So this button is very good. To start most combos, you're going to start it with 2M, and it's a low. It's a far range low attack. So this is a very good button to start combos with, especially from approach. Now, I promise you, you've never even looked at this button neutral before, but it's so good. One of her least talked about buttons is 2T. You probably don't even know what 2T is. 2T is her assist launcher. This button, she has the fastest assist launcher in the game at 9 frames, and look at that fucking hitbox. It goes above her head, reduces her hurt box, doesn't make it anti-air invincible, but it's so fast. Compared to a normal anti-air at 15 frames, this is 9 frames. One of her best buttons. You can just use this in neutral for footsies. You see them press a button, you can whiff punish with this. And depending on what character you're using, can help out a lot. You have a Blitzcrank up there, they're gonna take some big damage. Let's talk about bread and butters. I'm gonna teach you guys some easy ones. I'm gonna show you the more advanced ones. I probably won't be talking that much unless I have to explain stuff, but here we go. The combo I just showed doesn't always work, especially at further ranges. So if you are out of range, this is the combo for that. These are Ahri's hardest combos and her hardest routes, but these are optimal damage combos. Fuck. Okay, so one super important and hard thing about Ahri is hitting jump charge H. The trick here is that you only have to hold it till frame 20. So if you look at the middle number where it's red saying frames, if I do it at frame 19, so I didn't get the charge version. If I hold to frame 20, I get the charge version, right? So normally this is 12 frames. You just have to hold it for a little tiny bit extra to get it. And when you're doing the bread and butter, you can even go to frame 24. So you have a 4 or 5 frame gap where you have time to hit it. So for example, when you do this, you want to first land as close to the ground as you can, so you have more time to get the dash heavy punch into whatever follow-up you want to do. But you don't necessarily need to. It's just nice to give yourself time. But you pretty much just make sure you let go before you land on the ground, right? That's the real trick here. And then the other trick is that right when you press dash, you start holding heavy punch. So you can do this instant air dash. You have a dash button right here. And as you see, before I land, you're able to instant air dash and get the heavy punch. So you can just practice that a couple times in training mode. Just instant air dash, get the charge hit, and then you'll get the combo just fine once you get it. It will take a little bit for you to learn for sure, but once you get it, you realize nothing's as hard as it looks, but it's, you know, it's not easy. We're gonna go over some of the best places to put assist while you're doing Ahri's combo / block strings. Ahri's normal assist is really good for extending grounded combos. So before a launcher comes out, you kind of want to do Ahri's assist so you can extend the ground combo. What's cool about both Ahri's assists, they leave her in the air. The forward assist leaves them in the air if the opponent blocks it. So you can do some aerial pressure like that or something else depending on what, you know, Jinx would be doing in this scenario, or whoever you're playing as. I use her back assist more for pressure on block. I find that a lot more useful myself. You can use it in the combo, but there's a lot of scaling with it. So if you use it in a combo, it's already gonna minus whatever combo you're doing by 20% scaling. So usually by the end of the combo is where you want to use it. I main Ahri Jinx. I'm going to try to go into other characters, but of course you can probably do more research with your team and find better spots. But here's some stuff to start off with. Oops. Ahri's block pressure mid-screen is okay. She actually does a lot of chip damage. If you just do this into these two fireballs, that's 50 damage, just like that, and they all link into each other pretty much. There are gaps, so it's not perfect, but most people won't parry or super through them and stuff. But what you want to do is that after these two fireballs, you usually want to cover, or even after this, you usually want to cover with an assist. So you can go for a mix-up with Ahri. So for example, if I do this, call Braum near the end, then kind of go for another double overhead mix-up. You know, Braum's pushes away, which isn't great. So in that type of scenario, that might be a little risky. It's probably better just to go for a low or switch into Braum. So what you can do with Braum, you can hit this, call the Braum assist, go for a mix-up, then switch. You can hit the mix-up, then switch, which is probably better, but, you know, you can change it up. And that's just a simple way to start opening people up during block pressure. But a lot of times with Ahri, because she has a lot of mix, if you're in the corner, you usually want to stay as her. So that same block pressure we just did looks a lot more dirty in the corner. I'll show you. So it's not all real. After the air fireball and I dash forward, they can anti-air me. you just dash out as well. And then it's like all that risk that you're taking isn't really even being taken at all. One of the dirtiest parts about Ahri is that she can do this double overhead with 2 heavies in the corner. Now, the thing is, good players won't get hit by that all the time. So you have multiple mix-ups. Once you know they're going to stand, you can hit 2L instead. But if they're crouching, it doesn't always hit, as you'll see right here. See? Then it whiffs. So if they're used to blocking that first overhead, what you can do is that you can do that into double jabs or not double jabs. You do 1 jab, you do 2 jabs, you go right into a low like that. You can go into double, then a low. So there's a lot. You can go into this, then do a throw. There's a lot you can work with when you have someone in the corner with Ahri. So what you can do for mix and for damage is that if you jump in on someone in the corner, you can air dash right after the attack for pressure, and it kind of mixes them up if they block it. So I'll show you some examples. So as you see, you have so many options when Ahri's doing pressure in the corner. It makes your opponent uneasy, impatient, more so that they're going to press buttons. So you should usually like kind of back up, give them some space to fuck up, and then take the advantage there. And then like we talked about, her stand H, super good, especially when they're in the corner, when they're kind of like a caged animal. And you can always cover your button with an assist. So if you're scared about them jumping, you can throw an air fireball and then go into pressure, throw an air fireball and don't, throw an air fireball and assist, which covers the ground and the floor. There's a lot of stuff you can do. I'm gonna show you a couple things with my team that might help you think about stuff with your team. So I'm gonna show you some of the tricks I got with my team. Hopefully it helps you out. Then we gotta talk about Ahri's S2 super lasts a long time. So it gives a lot of room for your assist character to get hits in during it. So on my team, for example, on Jinx, during her S2 super, I can fit in 2 firework supers. So that's just one thing I can do during that. Here's another cool thing off air throw with Ahri. And then let me show you my go-to TOD on lightweight characters. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, leave them below. I'll probably be doing a guide for Jinx next, so look forward to that. Appreciate you, peeps.